Hey everyone, it's Landile here, the leader and the instructor of Manikwe School. Today we're actually doing exercise 4.6. This is the textbook we're using in case you haven't yet got your own PDF. Okay, so it's actually on page 176. So how can one go about doing this? What we can do is to simply go let me first read through the question. It's a random, we want random points on a circle. That's what we want, right? We gotta write a program that generates 3 random points on a circle centered at the origin, okay, with radius 40, and display 3 angles in a triangle formed by these 3 points, right? As shown in figure 4.7a. So they also gave us a hint which simply says generates a random angle. This is not theta, but anyway, a random angle in radians, okay, between 0 and 2 pi, right? As shown in figure 4.7b, okay. And the point determined by this angle is that, okay. Oh, this is not theta, it's alpha. Damn, it has been a while since I've been working with math problems, okay. Anyways, so here's what you gotta do. You simply randomly generates 3 points and then display those angles between those 3 points. Okay, as we can see right here. No, actually they did not give us a sample run. That belongs to 4.7. So let's jump onto our ID. I've already created a project. What I'm left to do is to create a class 0.46. Then I'll just go B. And then hit finish. Okay, the very first thing I'll do, of course, will be to declare a constant called radius. I'll give it a value of 40. Immediately after that, I'll generate random angle 4.1. Okay, double I'll simply go random angle, not angel, it's random angle. Okay, what I will do is I would first find a random number between 0 and 360. Okay, method random. I'll simply use the random function. I'm finding a number between 0 and 360. Right? Once I do this, what I want to do is to convert, because we're working with radians, is to convert that to radians. There is a to the radians method which you can use. So I'll put that randomly selected number. I hope everyone is clear here. This function alone, it converts whatever amount of degrees you have to radians. And then this right here is responsible for giving us a number between 0 and 360. Okay, that is it. Okay, what else do I want to do now? I want to compute x1. It's gonna be radius. I hope everyone saw the formula here. It's r cos alpha and the y is r cos sine alpha. So it's gonna be radius multiplied by it's in caps lock. So of course, it's radius multiplied by math.cos, and then we put, what is it we put in here? Angle, random angle. We put random angle there. Okay, and then for y, we'll simply use sine instead of cos. And then we put y1 right here. Right? So here's what I'll do. I'll do this again. I don't want to have 3 variables for different angles, right? I can use one and the same variable and keep updating it the way I did here. I hope everyone is clear what's going on here. What I'm simply doing, I'm generating 3 points, right? Point 1, point 2, and point 3. However, I only have one variable responsible for randomly generating an angle, and then of course 6 variables for all 3 points, the xy coordinates for all 3 points. Okay, now that we've got this, what we're left to do is to simply calculate the distance between point 1 and point 2. Now, why are we doing that? Let's get back here. I don't know if people are familiar with something called a cosine rule. That is exactly what I will use right here. I'll use a cosine rule, and if you don't understand that, you can check that under trigonometry, maybe on a grade 12 textbook, or maybe grade 11. I'm not quite sure. Like, where do they start teaching a cosine rule in high school, right? So here's what I'll do. The very first thing I'll do is to calculate a distance double between the point 1. I'll just go between point 1 and point 2, distance 1, 2, which simply says the distance between point 1 and point 2. Okay, how am I gonna go about doing that? It is simply given as math.square root. I'm assuming people know how to calculate a distance. I'm assuming people know the distance formula. So here's what I'll do here. I'll simply go x2 minus x1. I've got to square this, and then minus, is it plus? Of course it's a plus. Y2 minus 1 minus y1, and say all squared. Y2 minus y1. Again, I wanna square all of that. This part right here is nothing else but the distance formula. It's a square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus 1 y1. This is mathematics right here, folks. There's literally nothing much to do with programming. It's only mathematics. Okay, so once I do that, once I calculate the distance between, perhaps I should comment this out. Calculate the distance between point 1 and point 2. Likewise for point 1 and point 3. I want to do one and the same thing for point 1 and point 3. Just to speed up things, I decided to copy and paste and then change things here and there. Okay. Lastly, I want a distance between point 2 and point 3. Okay, and if I'm going to use the cosine rule, then I have to, let me just, distance between point 2 and point 3. So here I'll simply put 3 and 2. Let me just go 3 and then 2. Right? Okay. Once I'm done with that, I've gotta start using the cosine rule. Okay, cosine formula is given as a squared. This is nothing else but one of the 3 sides we have. So it's a, how am I going to express a squared? Let me try to use this over here. So it's a squared is equals to b squared plus c squared. Forgot putting it to here. Minus 2 times b times c. And then go cos a. Right? I hope that is okay. Okay, now it is time to put that on our code. However, there's one thing that is still missing here, because this small letter a, all small letters, they refer to your sides, right? And we've already calculated our 3 sides, right? What we need to do is to make a, this capital letter A, the subject of the formula. Again, this is mathematics, folks. How can we go about doing that? We simply say, okay, if we take b squared plus 6 squared to the other side, that will become a squared minus b squared minus c squared. And then if we divide both sides by minus 2bc, we will be left with cos a is equals to a squared minus b squared plus, minus c squared all over 2bc, right? And then from there, we make a the subject of the formula, capital letter A. Okay, again, if you can't get this, please try to sit down with a pen and a paper. How can I show you? You're definitely going to get it. Or you know what, let me just, for the sake of making things simpler, let me just do all those steps. Because why? I'm assuming that if you're doing this tutorial, if you're following these tutorials, then you are an absolute beginner. I don't want people to get pissed just because I'm doing each and everything. I'm trying to make sure that we all are on the same page here, folks. Okay, it's b multiplied by c cos a. Okay, this is our first step. So our second one will be, our second step will simply be, I'm going to simply put this under the square roots. Under these brackets. Okay, it's going to be that divided by minus 2 multiplied by b, small letter b multiplies by small letter c. Okay, and then on the right hand side, I'll be left with cos a. I don't know why I decided to make this a capital letter. It's bad. Or perhaps I should put a multiplication here. Okay, so this is my formula so far, right? Okay, once I'm done with that, now I've got to make a subject of the formula. That is pretty straightforward. It's gonna be a is going to be arc cos. I hope people understand what's going on here. Arc cos of the whole thing. This is my first angle right here. Okay, so let's try to put that on our code. We're simply going to say double point 1 angle is given by math dot, here's arc cos of what? It's gonna be now our a is a distance between 2 and 3, right? So it's gonna be distance between 2 and 3, right? Okay. In fact, I've gotta put this. You've gotta square that though, right? Remember, you've got to square that. So in order to square that, we will simply say math.pow I'm trying by all means not to confuse people here, but I don't know, perhaps I'm wrong, I'm complicating things. Okay, so it's gonna be small letter a is nothing else but the distance between AB. However, we've got to square that because we want a squared, not a. So that's why you're using the math.pow class. We use this in order to find that arc cos, right? Okay, we say that minus math.pow minus b squared. B squared is nothing else but the distance between 0.1 and 0.3. Oh, just so you know, guys, it's not like it's a must for you to pick points the way I did. You could have done things differently, right? And maybe make your a the distance 1 3 as opposed to 3 2, right? But this is what I decided to do. So it's my b is going to be the distance b2. My b is going to be the distance 1 3. So b squared is going to be math.pow of the distance, and then you put 2 as your exponent. Again, we got a minus c, so it's math.pow distance, it's 1 3, and then we've already used 3 2 and 1 3. Now we've got to use 1 2, and then we've got to put a 2 over there. Okay, so far we only did this part here, right? In fact, we've only used this thing except for this part, minus 2 multiplied by b divided by minus 2 multiplied by b multiplied by c. Okay, so that's what we've got to take care of. That's why I want to put brackets here. This is our numerator, and then try to put a division operator, and then put my denominator right there. So it's minus 2 multiplied by, again, I said Here's my B. And then lastly, here's my C. Seems like we're good now. This will do it for our first angle. Right. Okay, again, what we can do is to simply copy and paste this, but I'm not going to do that. I will simply do it from the scratch because I want people to follow what's going on here. So again, we're going to simply go point 2 angle is equals to math dot arc cos. This is the tricky part. Now, this was the formula to get A. If you want to get B, I'm not going to write all the steps. You can do that on your own. Here's what I'll do. You see, it's not a must for you to always make A the subject of the formula. You can make B the subject of the formula. Capital letter B. Because this formula goes this way. Hey, I'm afraid I feel like I'm taking it too far now. But again, I'm assuming people that are watching this are absolute beginners. So, let me just go undo. So, please bear with us if you already know what's going on. So we can go B and put an A here and then an A there. So an A there and then make this a B. So if you want to make B the subject of the formula, I mean capital letter B the subject of the formula on this formula here, you will end up with something like this. You'll end up with something like B is equals to arc cos, and then you will have B squared minus A squared minus C squared, right? And then you'll simply say divided by minus 2 multiplied by A multiplied by C. So this is precisely what we're going to put on our formula. So again, what is our B squared? Our B squared is given as, we said our B is distance 1, 2. So here's our B squared. I can simply copy and paste that. Oh damn, what's happening? Let me do this. So this is our B squared, and then minus B squared minus A squared. So what's our A? Our A is nothing else but the distance 2, 3. This is it right here, 3, 2, amen. So we're saying that minus that. So it's B squared minus A squared minus C squared. What is C squared? C squared is nothing else but this over here. Right? I hope everyone is clear what's going on here. And then lastly, we want to divide by 2AC. So it's going to be negative 2AC minus 2 multiplied by, what is our A? Our A is 2, 3. Is distance 3, 2, amen. Right? And then lastly, our C is distance 1, 3. Again, I'm hoping everyone is clear here. Now we're about to write the very last Perhaps I should do this. So that people will understand. Now we gotta find a way to write our last angle. Question: how are we gonna go about doing that? We'll simply be looking for the angle C. What you can do is you can plug and play these numbers in case you're confused. In fact, you can play around with this. So since we're looking for C, we're gonna make C the subjects of small letter C, the subjects of the formula, and make that a B, and then make sure here we have C. So now we want capital letter C to be the subjects of the formula. So here it's gonna be A squared minus, or it has to be C squared minus A squared minus B squared, and then we say here all over minus 2 times A times B instead of C. Okay. Again, I strongly suggest you check out the cosine formula if you don't know what's going on here, because I cannot start teaching mathematics now. Okay, so my variable will be given as my 0.3 angle will be given as math.arccos. Okay, what I want is a way to finally you'll have something like this, I know. So here in the numerator I would have the distance. So I want C squared. So where's my C squared? Here's my C squared right over here. We know that C, the distance C is given by the distance 1, 2. So we're gonna have C squared minus it's gonna be 6 squared minus A squared. So what is our A squared? A squared A squared is given by this over here. This is our A squared. Let me go to the next line though. That's our A squared. Again, we gotta go minus B squared. Minus, where is our B squared? Here is it right here. Oh, that's my B squared actually. So A squared is given as that my A squared. So my B squared is right here. With that out of the way, we're done with our numerator. Now we gotta go minus 2 multiplied by, what is our A? Our A is distance 3, 2. That's our A. Oof, let me go to the next line again. Lastly, multiplied by, what is our B? What is our B? Distance B. Distance B is nothing else but distance 1, 3. Again, you can pick this however you like, as long as you understand what's going on, as long as you understand how it is the cosine rule works. Okay, so it's time to display our output now. System.out.print f, and then this. So here's what I'll do. I'll simply go first point angle is given as percentage 3, or go percentage 3.2 F. Right? Okay, what I want to do is to display, because you see, even though we're working with our radians, but perhaps it will be better if when we actually display our angles, it's better we display them in degrees, because you see these three values, 60, 65 and 55, they are in degrees. So what I'll do is I'll simply go, the first point angle is that much degrees. Okay, and then I'll go to the next line. Oops, seems like I messed up somewhere somehow. Okay, firstly I'll need a concatenation sign, and then go second point angle is given by, again I can put this no, of course I don't want double slash, I don't want to escape that. Okay, lastly we can go third point this time, not second point. Third point angle is that. Okay, actually we don't want to go to the next line once we display the third point. So what else we now do, we just go math. We don't want to display 0.1 angle. Why? 0.1 angle is actually in radians. 0.2 angle, we don't want to do this. 0.2 angle, and then 0.3 angle. This is absolutely what we don't want. What you do want though is to make sure that this is converted to degrees. Same thing applies for the other two variables, 2 degrees. And make sure you put this over here. And then lastly, we do that for our last point, angle. Okay, it seems like that should be it for this tutorial, folks. And if you think you lost somewhere somehow, I strongly suggest you go check out how does the cosine rule work. Once you grasp that, then you can immediately see what's going on here. Okay, I'm afraid though I'm afraid I did not create something that will be visual, right? Because you might probably think some numbers here are incorrect, and if you do, just so you know, that's totally understandable if you do, right? So I don't know you can maybe try this on your own. I mean, you can try to check this against your solution, but I strongly believe that it works. It's just that it will take time for me to create another Java FX application program only to display these angles. It will take time for me. The thing is, I've got a lot to cover. I'm running out of time. There are a lot of exercises ahead. So I don't know, folks. If you think I'm messing with you on this solution, please feel free to let me know. Or if there's a way you suggest I should have approach this problem with, please also wanna know that. Let me know. That should be it for this tutorial, you guys. Cheers, you guys. I'm gone.